morning, we are back. Woo! Ha ha! We're gonna start this thing over just like we're getting started at 10:23, because we are. Walk with me, Lord. Walk with me. Walk with me, Lord. Walk with me. Said while I'm on this tedious journey, I want Jesus to walk with me. We need him to walk with us this morning, don't we? Hold my hand, Lord. Hold my hand. Hold my hand, Lord. Hold my hand. Said while I'm on this tedious journey, I want Jesus to hold my hand. Oh yeah, come on now. Oh, help me sing now. Walk with me, Lord. Walk with me. Walk with me, Lord. Would you walk with me? Yeah. Said while I'm on this tedious journey, I want Jesus. I want Jesus to walk with me. Y'all help me sing where you're at. Come on, say walk with me. Walk with me. Walk with me, Lord. Would you walk with me? Said while I'm on this tedious journey, I want Jesus to walk with me. Oh, Lord, walk with me. Yeah, all right. So guess what? We are into today's service, and it looks like we're having some issues with the network. What we're going to do is we're going to just push right on through, and worst case scenario, we'll upload this service back to the page. We'll do a watch party. We'll do whatever it takes to make sure we get this service to you, and we'll upload this as well to YouTube. Technical difficulties. It's just, I don't know if it's Windstream. I don't know what it is. We're not quite sure. Did I just lay the blame? I just called Windstream out. Anyway, we're not sure if it's the internet or if it's Facebook or if it's Switcher. We're not really sure. But we're just moving right on through. At this moment, is it pausing? Is it freezing? It is every other time? Okay. All right. So what we're going to do is we're just going to push right on through this, okay? And what I'm hoping and believing is that the Switcher app will capture all of this, and then we'll be able to take that and upload it and do a watch party in just a few minutes. Right now, I'm going to ask my friend Paulette Washington to come in, and she's going to share with us her song for today. This is we're on the eve of Martin Luther King Jr. Day. MLK Day is tomorrow. So today we're centering around the message, the man, the legend, the power of the message that the messenger brought, and his ability to endure a tremendous amount. I mean, there was attempts on his life several times, and until it was time for him to go, until it was time for him to depart, till his work was done, he stayed in the midst of all of it. And there's this feeling that I have, this connection that I feel with Dr. King, and a connection I feel with gospel music. That's why we opened with Walk With Me. And then my friend Paulette Washington now is going to share a song with you that I just love, and I love the way she sings it. Paulette, take it away.
you and I must pursue. God believes. God believes. Yes, He does. God believes. Oh, yes, He does in you. And that's why you made it through every storm in your life. See, God was protecting you all along. And whatever He promised, I know He's gonna see you through. See, God believes, yes He does. God believes, yes He does. God believes, yes He does. He believes in you. Oh, yes He does. You shall prevail. I know if God is for you, He won't let you fail. In the midst of every storm, I know you shall prevail. Oh, God is for you. Don't be discouraged. He won't let you fail. In the midnight hour, when nobody is around, just know that God, He is faithful. Yes, He is. And He won't let you fail. Oh, you made it through every storm. You made it through every trial. I know you shall prevail. God is for you. God is for you. And He won't let you fail. You made it. You made it. You made it. You made it through every storm. There was God protecting you. Oh, yes, He was. He was protecting you all along. And whatever He promised, oh, you keep your hands in God's hand. He's gonna see you through. Cause God believes, yes He does. I know we're in a crisis right now, but God believes. When He needs somebody to stand up and testify of His goodness, He brings circumstances around in our lives so we can stand on His word and let the whole wide world know God believes, that He believes in you and me. Oh, yes, He does. I don't care no matter what the world says. In His word, He said He'll never leave you. He said He would never forsake you. You keep your hands in God's hands. God believes in you. Oh, yes, He does. My God, He believes. He believes. He believes in you. You keep the faith, but know that God believes. He believes in you. Oh, yes, He does. He believes. He believes in you. Oh, yes, He does. He believes. He believes in you.
Whew. Paulette, take us to church now. I grew up hearing great gospel music in church, and this was a song that I heard sung. It was a part of the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. songbook. Mahalia Jackson sang the fool out of this song. There is some places I may not go. There are some things I may never know. Yeah, but there is one thing I'm sure of. For me now, God is real, for I can feel God in my soul. Can I get a witness? And there are some people who may not believe. I mean it when I say it. That is okay. I get it. Well, that's okay by me. All that I have seen, and I have heard, I believe God is real, for I can feel God's mighty power. I believe God is real. My soul, I believe God is real, for God has healed and made me whole. Oh, God's love for me is just like pure gold. Yes, it is. I believe God is real, for I can feel God all the way down in my soul. I think I'll testify, y'all. Come on now. Yeah. Play it now, Lord. This kind of music makes me happy, I'm just gonna tell you. I believe God is real, for God has healed and made me whole. Whoa, whoa. God's love for me, yeah, always just like pure gold. I believe God is real, for I can feel God in my soul. It's God's love for me, always just like pure gold. I believe God is real, for I can feel God all the way down in my soul. I believe God is real, for I can feel God in my soul, all the way down in my soul. Man, that just makes me want to have some church. You know, and then folks who have an issue with the word God, then I get all of that. But there's something in that space. Here's the thing that I've noticed about my personal growth as I move through in and out of all of the church and religion and spirituality and all of the things that are connected to that and in that space. There's some of the things that are still they're wonderful. Once you come to a place where you're at peace with your own self and you're at peace with your own experience, you're able to reinterpret everything through this new experience, and the lenses change. And when the lens changes, you're able to move in and out of a different phase. Thank you, honey. I'm going to take my guitar. Ain't that a blessing? You're able to shift and change the way you see the world. And when you change the way you see the world you see begins to change. It starts to become much easier for you to navigate through all of those feelings around it. And there's a lot of PTSD around church experience. In fact, I know people who are suffering with all of the concepts around religion and God and whatever it means. And I know that. And I want you to know I'm aware of it. But for me, this love is real. And we can call it God or not call it God. You can call it whatever you want to call it. And this love for me is just real. And it's a beautiful space for me to live. I want to dedicate our service today to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s work in the world. Dr. King taught us how to love even when we don't feel like loving. There's some folks we don't feel like loving, and I completely understand it. I get it. There's a lot of anger in the world. I think the message of Dr. King is just as relevant today as it was when he spoke it years ago. Here's the difference. He said, I have a dream. We get to say we're going to fulfill the dream because we're waking up. A dream is wonderful. It's a vision that happens while you sleep. You know that while you're sleeping, the dream happens. And no matter how real it is, there's no action or actual activity that takes place until you wake up. We are waking up. And now the dream can become a reality. It wasn't only Dr. King's dream. It was the dream of Jesus. It was the dream of Mahatma Gandhi. It was the dream of Siddhartha. It was the dream of Krishna. This has been going on throughout the ages with all of the sages. A belief that we could wake up from the state that we're in. You know, people say, the world's been at war and fighting for so long. What makes you think we can come into a space of peace now? Well, here's the thing. The more we connect our conscious awareness to the ability of doing it, of actually living it, the more people we can get engaged in this thing and awakened and raising the consciousness. We literally can shift how this earth operates in the galaxy if we can come together and believe. We only need a collective group. It doesn't have to be a huge group. But how many of you are willing to wake up? I am. I want to live my life awake. One of the quotes that I love from Dr. King, and this has a wonderful thing to do, and in bold letters you'll see the red love where it says love, and this is a wonderful thing for us as One Love Spirit Center. It says, we have before us the glorious opportunity to inject a new dimension of love into the veins of our civilization. I'm going to read that again. We have before us the glorious opportunity to inject a new dimension of love into the veins of our civilization. Can I get an amen from somebody? We have the glorious opportunity. Right now is the opportune time. We've seen destruction and chaos and anger and anguish in the midst of a pandemic and the panic and the fear and the throes of it's the death throes of this system that's dying out. We now have the opportunity to inject a new dimension, not a new love, because love always is, but a new dimension of love. I love how he used, I love how he used the word love, but I love how he used the word dimension. You know, it's only been in the last few years that there's been a realization of what's called third dimensional viewing. I think at some point we'll discover fourth dimensional viewing. At some point we're going to discover everything that Spirit intended for us to discover as we evolve. When you get involved with what Spirit is doing, you evolve with what Spirit wants to present to you. Somebody mentioned me the other day, they said, what about science? I think spirituality and science are twins. I think they're twin brothers, twin sisters. I think they walk side by side. I think Spirit reveals it and science documents it. That's what I think. I believe Spirit reveals it and science documents it, tells you how it works. It's a perfect combination. They don't fight each other, they work with each other. And isn't it interesting that both spirituality and science have been fought over the last few years? Think about that. Religion has had a resurgence. You're not going to take my religion away, you take my rights, and we're going to stand up for our rights, and we're going to fly flags of hatred right along with flags that are supposed to represent freedom and supposed to represent love. You notice that? That's called the perversion, or a different version of what it should be. Religion has been dying out, and so has extreme whiteness. It's been dying out. And when I say that, I'm talking about the worship of whiteness. The worship of a system that holds people of color down has been in the throes. People are upset. People are afraid. They're afraid they're going to lose their position of power. And as that's going away, we're moving into a new dimension of love. Love that doesn't ignore colors. Some people say, as a matter of fact, our friend Monty, she put this up on her page the other day. She said, white people, please stop saying, I don't see color. I used to hear folks say that. I don't see color. I live colorblind. Then you need to open your eyes. Don't not see color. See all color and embrace it all. Love it all. I've told you this story before, I think. My grandfather was given a color television for his birthday. He watched it for about 30 minutes. Then he unplugged it. He put it up, set it aside. He put back his black and white television and he said, I can't watch that other TV. This looks more real. To him, the black and white looked more real than the full color. People who have seen through certain lenses are not able to embrace the full color. Some may have to depart this planet before they can see the true openness of what all God is. But those of us who are choosing to be reborn are able to see in full color, celebrate the full color, embrace it, love it, spend our life engaged with it. I want to see in full color. Another one of my favorite quotes from Dr. King says, darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. Now, this doesn't mean that you don't stand up for what's right. Did you know it's not hateful to call out what's wrong? Folks will say, why are you hating? There was a particular politician that I absolutely could not agree with. I couldn't get myself on board with his character, with his ideals. And people would say, well, why do you hate this person so much? I said, no, because I oppose them doesn't mean I hate them. Did you know you can be someone's opponent and not become their enemy? That you can vehemently oppose someone's point of view, call them out on it, tell them you disagree, and stand up for what you believe is right, and at the same time still love them. Love is such a huge engulfing thing because God is love. 1 John 4:8, according to the Christian New Testament. God is love. But love doesn't always agree with everything you do. In fact, I'll tell you this. This is where I'm at right now. I'm working through this. I believe the statement that Dr. King made here was radically inclusive, and at the same time, I believe it spoke to something that we should begin to exercise. And this is the invitation. I invite you into this. I believe that when we move to the place where we can see evil as an action and not a person, evil as an action but not a being, I believe we will expand and open up our ability to love people. What I'm saying is, the activity does not always define the being. We can say what you did was evil, but I refuse to call you evil. You're as much a part of the experience of divine as I am. What you did was evil. It came from somewhere, and most of the time violence comes from a place of fear anyway. It's not because you're strong, it's because you're afraid. Those of you who are wanting to fight and you're wanting to grasp and you're just seething and angry, that's from a place of fear. See, when you're at rest, you don't need to be controlled by the emotion of anger. Because anger's not necessarily a bad thing, but let me say it this way. You don't need to be controlled by a sense of malice. Anger that has become malice has become unuseful and toxic. Anger, when it's used properly, is the fuel that goes in the tank that helps you to move forward. So here we are with an opportunity. I'm going to read the other quote, and then I'm going to read this one back to back. We have before us the glorious opportunity to inject a new dimension of love into the veins of our civilization. And then the next slide. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. How many of us are willing to press in to these statements? That this is an opportunity before us. In fact, Dr. King called it a glorious opportunity to inject a new dimension of love into our civilization. And then he came right behind and said, darkness can't cast out darkness. It's impossible. Only light can do that. Now, again, this doesn't mean that you remain quiet while injustices are done. But you remember as you lift your voice that you're lifting your voice against a system, against an action, against the and speaking out for. Really more than standing against, you're speaking out for love and light, equality, equity, and all of the things that Dr. King spent his life, literally gave his life for. So as we move into MLK Day tomorrow, his birthday was actually this last Friday, but as we move into MLK Day, celebrated as a federal holiday, what are you going to do to challenge your own prejudice, to challenge your own view of the world? What will you do as you look out at the world around us, the civilization, the society, that for some is in shambles? There are people today that are completely panicked, losing their mind, because the systems have gone. It is the end of the world as we've known it. Your prophets got that part right, that it's the end of the world, but it is not the end of the earth. When the world that was passes away, it makes room for the new. I'll say it this way. Spring is going to be coming up here pretty soon, and some of y'all are just lusting over that. You can't wait for spring to get here and the cold to go away. As the spring arrives, the bud arrives on the tree, on the limbs. Then after the bud comes the flower. And then after the flower comes the fruit. Notice, take note in your own life the phases and the processes by which the fruit arrives. Somebody said to me, he said, how do you know how to be enlightened? And the only thing I could think was, you don't know from an intellectual standpoint. There's a knowing deep within your soul already. You already are. If you're seeking it, you're pushing it away. I felt that right there. Somebody needs to know. In the seeking it, I'm confessing it's not there. It's not in seeking it or fighting for it or trying to. Somebody the other day said, I'm trying to learn how to meditate. I'm trying. And you could see in their trying when they said it, I'm trying. I'm like, ooh, you're doing the opposite of meditating right now. I'm working hard, or I'm working hard on my attitude. I'm working hard to make me better. I want to throw in something that would be called shock block in Zen. I'll throw this out there for you to just taste on this and sort of chew on this for the next little bit. If you are working hard on you and you're the one who needs to be adjusted or fixed, what makes you think that the one who needs to be fixed is the one who can fix the one who needs to be fixed? Did I confuse us? I throw this out there because I'm telling you that the real work happens in the surrender. It's in the letting go. It's the no longer needing to desire something that already is. You already are an enlightened being. It just may be covered up by the varnish of your conditioning. So be born again, fresh, new, different. Powerful, amazing, as you just surrender. So, as we move into a few minutes of meditation, I'm going to ask us to do a couple of things. One, I'm going to ask us to not think in terms of fixing ourselves and not think in terms of fixing the world. Instead of fixating and concentrating or focusing on something or a concept or an idea or the world around us that's in such chaos in some spaces and places. Oddly, I'm at a real odd sense of peace here. I mean, truthfully. Yes, I recognize that there are things in the world that can be changed and adjusted. There's some things I'd like to see be done differently and done better. Of course, all of that. But there's a deep sense of peace. Yeah, but what about if civil war breaks out? there's a deep sense of peace. Don't give your emotional and spiritual currency to someone else's war. The war is over. We know it's finished. We know we're all a part of the God kind. We already know this. And as you know it down deep within you, you look at even the actors and you realize they're just playing roles they think they're supposed to play. Be careful that you don't try to write their script for them during this meditation. Write your own part, but don't try to write their script for them. They're doing what they're doing. It is what it is. Remember, through this whole process, we are in a time right now that is a glorious opportunity to inject a new dimension of love into the veins of this civilization. I, for one, have decided, take what Dr. King dreamed about, and now that I am awake, put action to the dream that came during the time of a sleep state. A dream is wonderful, but the activity when you're awake to make the dream a reality is even more powerful. Oh yeah. Do I believe we can? I absolutely believe we can. I'm doing it, choosing to do it, every single moment. Letting go of the judgment of self, letting go of self-loathing, letting go of working so hard on me. Accept you, all of you. You know, every single part of you. God knows, Spirit knows, the consciousness within you knows about all the junk in the trunk. You can't hide the skeletons that are in your closet because Spirit already knows the skeletons are there. Just stop trying to hide them. Let them rattle everywhere. Act like it's Halloween. Bring them out. Quit stressing about what's there. Yeah, but what if somebody finds out that, oh my God, I just had a thought the other day. I had one of these thoughts. Somebody told me just recently, seriously, he said, I don't feel righteous. I said, why do you not feel righteous? He said, I don't feel righteous because occasionally I have thoughts that I think are probably not good. He said, I'm even embarrassed to say what those thoughts are. I said, well, let me take a guess. Sometimes you have lustful thoughts, don't you? And he said, yeah. I said, sometimes you have violent thoughts, don't you? He said, yeah. Sometimes you have gross thoughts, don't you? Yeah. And it was like he said, you reading my mail. I said, no, I'm reading my mail. Because I do too. We all do. But you are not your thoughts. That's the magic. This is just data. Oh my God, from the movies that you've seen played, from the activities you've heard around you, from the jokes, from the jeering, from all of the data that your brain has collected over your lifetime. It has those things in the file cabinet. Those are not your thoughts. It's just stuff your brain knows. It's not you. I said, let's take a moment. Let's just be in this moment together. And I'm going to ask you, when you stop and think about the thoughts you just thought about, are you willing to carry it out? And he said, well, no, but I just feel bad about the thought. I said, wait a minute. Who are we talking about? Who are you? Are you the one who is able to deal with that thought and say, I wouldn't want to do this or carry this action out? Who are you? Are you the one who is willing to discipline yourself not to carry out the action? That's the one who is righteous. I said, man, the reason that you're able to say I don't feel righteous is because you are righteous. Because if you weren't righteous, you wouldn't even say I don't feel righteous. Come on, y'all. I'm preaching better than you shouting. You already, you know the truth is that if you know that thought doesn't need to stay resident within your soul, it's the one who knows that's righteous. Psychiatrist friend said to me years ago, he said, do you ever question your sanity? I said, nearly every day. He said, well, then you're sane. He said, it's the ones who don't question their sanity that are insane, because they're in the sane. When you are outside of the sane and you're able to view it and wonder if I am, the ones who are insane don't wonder if they're sane or not. All right, let's take a few moments here. And instead of trying to focus on making you better, allow yourself to surrender. Let go. Let go of even what you think you know. Simply surrender. Be at peace. Accept all of you. Every scar, every pain, every achievement, every failure. Love you fully. The glorious opportunity we have to inject a new dimension of love into our civilization, I believe, is that self-love. Religion has taught you to hate yourself. Religion has taught you to loathe yourself. That you're dirty, born in iniquity, and raised or born in sin and shaped in iniquity. All of the stuff that we've been told by religion, it was a lie. You're not separate from God. I came to tell you you're not separate from God. If there's something that I believe we're called to do as One Love Spirit Center, it's to let the world know that the good news is the bad news was wrong. You are not separate from God. You're not separate from consciousness. In fact, you are that consciousness. You can't be separate from it because you are it. So rest now in that. Just like warm bath water, just lay back in that beautiful space. Full acceptance. This is the new dimension of love that we can inject into our civilization. You see, as you fully love you, you're able to fully love the world around you. Every living being gets the overflow of your love. Since violence comes from fear, remember that love perfected casts out fear. So you loving you fully and completely would create a more loving world. Stop hating the hatred that you feel inside of you. When the thought comes, remember, you're not your thoughts. So if a hateful thought arrives, watch it move through, but don't grasp it or fight with it. In fighting with it, you give it your energy. Let it move. Let it go. It didn't come to stay. It came to pass. Peace within creates peace without. Love within creates love without, on the outside. This is why I say, if you don't go within, you will go without. Dr. King, thank you for reminding us that we have a great and a glorious opportunity before us to inject a new dimension of love into our civilization. That injection of love is here, internal. The kingdom of God is within us. So we flip the light of love on. And wherever the darkness goes, it goes. I don't need to quantify it or measure it or try to figure it out. I just let it go. Teach us to love one another. Teach us to live in love. answer. And so it is. Namaste, namaskar. Peace and grace. Amitabha. Amitabha, what does it mean? It's Chinese. It's also a Sanskrit word that's similar to it. I just can't actually, I'm not sure that I would say it correctly. So Amitabha just means perpetual light, unending and infinite light. Infinite light to all of you. I love you so much. Thank you. Thank you for being here. And thank you for your patience with all the technical stuff today. Hey, you know what? It is what it is. At the end of the day, we're not here to try to be professional. We're here to profess this new message of one love, not to be professional TV people. All the other stuff is just stuff. If you get interrupted, good. Maybe there was a reason for the interruption. And if the interruption causes an eruption, maybe you needed to get that stuff out. Fine. That works too. Right? Because it is what it is. So we just let it go. We let it go. Now we're going to turn to our Vice President of the Board for One Love Spirit Center, Elle Parker, and she's going to share with you our time of gratitude. Elle? Okay, then I'm going to do it this week. By God, I'm going to do it this week. Here's the thing. As you give cheerfully. I'll tell you something. One of the things that I did not like about the church environment that I came from and grew up in was this guilt around giving financially. Here's the deal. You're not going to get that from us. However, it does cost us to do what we do. We do have a budget. And so as you share in this community and with this community financially, if this community is feeding your soul, make that exchange. That's what I do. And I've learned that when I live to give and I give to live, I never run out of what I need. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just a universal law. But I can tell you this. Giving is a wonderful, wonderful way to exercise faith in the eternal. And it's also a great way to keep your soul elastic. Do this for me real quick. This is a quick exercise on giving. Receive a breath. Now hold that breath. Hold that breath. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. What are you doing now? What are you doing? What? You have to let it go, don't you? That's giving. That's how life works. It's in a cycle, in a circle. In order to get another breath, you have to give a portion of what you took in. That's just the way life works. And it's also smart. You find any financial advisor will tell you it is smart to give. Find a way to give. You know why? Because there's magic in the universe surrounding it. And that's a beautiful thing. All right, so I want to let you know that we are still doing our meditations. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 6:30 a.m. I think that slide worked. 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I also do watch parties afterwards and before, just repeats so that you can have something going on. Each week, we're in the process of working on also having a morning meditation on Sundays. Give us a little bit of time to work out how that's going to work. Someone within our community is going to be leading that so that you're not always just seeing me, okay? Today, you end up just majority seeing me, thanks to Paulette, that you didn't have to just see me the whole time. But know that we're working through a bunch of things. Wednesday evenings, we have our midweek check-in, 7 o'clock right here on this network here. And what I'm doing right now is walking through our statement of faith. If you miss those, they're on YouTube. Let you know that you can go to YouTube, One Love Spirit Center. If you search One Love Spirit Center, you're going to find our archives on our YouTube page. In fact, I'm asking as many of you that will, even if you don't watch YouTube much, please subscribe to the page. I'd love to see our subscription increase. I'd love to see the amount of numbers. So increase that by going to and subscribing. You see it on the screen right now. That's where you go. On YouTube, One Love Spirit Center. On Instagram, One Love Spirit Center as well. And if you'll go there, please follow. If you'll follow that page, all of that helps to build the algorithms, and everything on Google, any kind of a search engine is all built around algorithms. And I'm asking for your help to build those algorithms. All right. I can't think of anything else. Is that about it? That's it. All right, so but we've got to do this song though. We can't get away from here without doing our song, One Love. So I need you to sing along with me, okay? You gonna sing with me on this one? One Love. Hey, thank y'all so much again for your patience today. We are one love. That's who we are. That's why we do what we do, all right? Everybody sing with me. Come on, help me. One love, one heart. Let's get together and feel alright. Hey, one love, one heart. I give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will feel alright. Oh yeah, let's get together and feel alright. Listen, let them pass all of their dirty remarks. Here is a question that I'd really like to ask. Is there also room for the ones you think are hopeless sinners who would hurt all mankind just to save their own beliefs? Is there room? Yeah, one love, one heart. Let's get together and feel alright. Hear the people crying. One love, how's it? One heart. I give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will feel alright. Oh yes, let's get together and feel alright. I like this right here. Let's get together to end this holy Armageddon. No more war. So when the man comes, there will be no doom. Have compassion on those whose chances seem to grow thinner. See, there ain't no hiding place from the power of creation. Oh yeah. One love, one heart. Let's get together and feel alright. All the people crying, one love, one heart. I give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will feel alright. Oh yeah, let's get together and feel alright. Come on, sing where you are right now. Come on, say it now. One love, oh yeah, one heart. Let's get together and feel alright. Hear creation crying, one love, one heart. I give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will feel alright. I choose to. Oh yeah, let's get together and feel alright. Everybody give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will feel alright. Yes, I will. Yes, I choose to feel alright. It's a choice that we can all make, and I'm going to invite us to take a moment, receive a deep breath. Let's do our affirmation together. Let's believe it. Let's receive it. I affirm that I am inclusive, compassionate, kind, and strong. I am awake. I am aware and fully alive. I am pure presence. I am divine. I am one love, and so it is. You can choose to be that this week. Listen, in honor of Dr. King, let's go out and intentionally love people in a radically inclusive way. And go and make it a great week. You know why? Because you can. Peace.